from the moment he arrives. Luke, who wrote the memoirs called Acts of the Apostles, said that Paul was greatly distressed when he saw that the city was full of idols, which is our first clue about how Paul feels about the pluralism of his time, which is pure polytheism. But he wins an invitation to speak to the Mars Hill Philosophy Club, named for that rock that hugs the side of the Acropolis, also called Mars Hill. And when he speaks that day, the message he delivers, I would say, was respectful, it was informed, and it was persuasive, or at least he meant for it to be. He begins by saying, "Men of Athens, I can see that in every way you're very religious. For as I was going around looking at all your objects of worship, I even found an altar with this inscription, 'To an unknown God.' Now what you worship is something unknown I'm going to proclaim to you." And I don't get the impression that Paul was being sarcastic. I think he's genuinely affirming the Athenians in their spiritual quest. He then goes on to compare their objects of worship, all these idols that cover the Acropolis, with the one true living creator God who reveals himself in the person of Jesus. Not once but twice he quotes pagan poets. It's Epimenides, the poet from Crete, who once said, "In him we live and move and have our being." The him he was referring to is actually Zeus of the Olympian pantheon. Then he quotes Aratus from Cilicia, which is part of what we now call Turkey, who said, "We are his offspring." His offspring. Once again, he's referring to Zeus, the pagan god. So those two quotations alone tell me at least three things about Paul on pluralism. Number one, Paul thinks it's not only okay, but a good idea to repurpose pagan poetry, things that were said about Zeus, and make them apply to the one true creator God. Number two, I would say, it's obvious that Paul doesn't slander Zeus or Athena or Nike or Poseidon or the other gods that competed for space on the Acropolis. As a missionary friend told me in Thailand a few months ago, when I asked him the question, what do you do with Buddhism in this predominantly Buddhist nation when you're trying to present Christ to people? And the missionary responded, we don't step on Buddha to lift up Christ. Neither does Paul trash talk Zeus to lift up Christ that day.